Where have I been out in the sun? I don't. It's Italian. I'm Italian.
Yeah,
So
I go out in the sun. I burn after about 5 minutes and then I freckle. So.
Are we live? We think we're live. We're working on it. Bill Moore has been amazing today, by the way. If you aren't listening or you can see, it's funny because normally I can see all of the comments going up and down here. And so we're going to hope and pray that that's what we see here. And as long as people can hear us or see us, that's really the biggest challenge that we always have. I'm on. So, okay, good. Am I on Ted Bogert?
You're on.
I'm on, but I want to make sure people can see me on Ted Bogert. So I'm looking, and you can hear me? I know, look, we've got great people working behind the scenes right now. So I'm just happy to be here and experiment. And Troy has been such a trooper, which I knew he would be. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. So
Honored to be here.
Oh, look, who's in the background? It's Maggie. We're actually sort of live, Maggie, so we're going to, figure out what this looks like right now. Bill Moore's helping. We have this is Maggie, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
And Lori's behind the scenes over here. She doesn't want to come on. Lori Rivera. She's shaking her head no. All right, so can I talk? Are we golden? Stand by. Stand by. All right, so we're going to stand by. We're just going to look at how we have this before and after beach picture. And seriously, like I just,
you know what?
I don't know what happened.
You don't want to see my legs. They were blind to everybody.
Well, apparently between my teeth and my insane tan, which I haven't been at the pool or at the beach. I don't know. Maybe it's my blood pressure. I don't feel stressed out. Can't that make you red?
You're a little peaked.
It's your love of this weather lately.
It's
That's what
totally. It is gorgeous out,
It is
right?
very nice.
And what's the weekend supposed to be like? Do we know? Cloudy. Okay.
Warm.
But for the walk on the 14th, once we start talking about
Yes.
that, I wonder what the weather's supposed to be.
Great.
Okay, good.
Crystal clear, no clouds.
That's right. We're putting
no
it out
nothing.
there. You know what's great about that is that it's going to be in the morning. Oh, that's good. No, Lori.
Let's see. Next week, Saturday is only a 10% chance of rain. High of 87.
Nice.
Low of 69.
So that's going to be awesome.
Will be
That's
amazing.
actually the day. So I have an event that evening for the American Cancer Society. Are we good? Okay, so you see it coming. Okay, good. So we're live. I'm going to try to keep an eye between me, Bill, and Lori and Troy. We're going to keep an eye on all of your comments. Hopefully people can tune in. We're trying something new. We're streaming the TED Show across a couple of different platforms right now. So hopefully you'll see it. And if not, you'll see it you'll binge watch it. That's what I tell people to do. So welcome. This is our episode with Troy Edwards. Troy and I have been friends for a while, actually. And it's funny because Glenda Chauncey, actually, our mutual friend Glenda, reached out to me and said, you've got to have Troy on. And of course, Orlando's a small town, so she didn't know if I knew you or not. I'm like, what a great idea. I might have even reached out to you prior to this to come on and talk about what you do.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being patient.
No.
I see people, Bill Moore's on, so that's good. I see a thumbs up. I don't know if that's Bill or not. He's trying to listen, okay. So at least we know we're live and we're going somewhere. Because as much as I love to hear myself speak, and look at that tan, right? We were talking about this. I don't want to call you the before picture, but I definitely am the after picture. Yes. I don't know what's happening here. My melatonin or whatever. What is it in your skin that does this? It's like, okay, so yeah, you're live, so you can see us. So good,
Wonderful.
good. All right, so we're gonna keep all of this going, and thank you guys for being patient. So we are here for an actual reason, though, not just to hear Ted talk about his tan and what's going on today. We want to hear from Troy and hear his story. I think he's got a great story. There's a wonderful event coming up on April 14th, Wounded Warfighter Lone Sailor Memorial Race, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so we have a lot to talk about. So welcome.
Thank you.
Enough of me talking. So give us a history on you. Give us a background. I posted your bio, which I liked. It was short and to the point and still full of information. Thank you. Because sometimes they're like 9 paragraphs long and I don't ever want to cut anybody out.
Pretty boring.
No, you're not boring. I loved it. It was succinct, like I would expect from you. So, so give us a little background on you.
Yes, first thank you again for having me on.
Absolutely.
And, you mentioned Glenda. Always been such a huge supporter of events we have, especially here in Central Florida. Yeah, so I'm a retired senior police detective. ended my career. I'd worked sex and child crimes for about 5 years, and then spent about 3.5, 4 years working homicide. I was a hostage negotiator with SWAT. Unfortunately, I got injured in the line of duty and had to medically retire earlier than I wanted to. And I found myself, after I retired, at what I guess would be a young age.
Yeah, you're still very young, my
I
friend.
don't feel it, but thank you. Wondering what was I going to do with myself. And I spent about a year trying to figure that out. And I had a mutual friend had been talking about the Central Florida Navy League, and I was never in the military. I started very young as a law enforcement officer, but I come from a military family. My
So you had it in your blood.
Yes, every generation of my family has either been military or law enforcement or both. And and I had a grandfather that was in the Navy, so I said, yeah, I'll come with you about, and to be honest with you, it kind of was just to appease her. Because I kept hearing about this, what is this luncheon? What is this monthly thing? Who is this?
Who was dragging you along?
As a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yes, an old friend. And so I went, and I got to tell you, I was there 7 minutes before I fell in love with everybody. Absolutely fell in love with some of our World War II vets, some of our active duty personnel. It was an atmosphere that you could tell was just selfless people wanting to help the military, wanting to help their community, whether it be past service, now continuing as a volunteer or as active duty. And I said, I'm hooked. How do I get involved?
How were they? How did they respond to you not being military? Because there's a difference. Like, you've got levels. You have a family in military, so you can at least speak the lingo, the language. But there's also a comfort level amongst veterans, which sometimes makes it hard for somebody who's not a vet to break into.
Yeah. No, I have seen that in the past in other places, but I tell you, the Navy League it's not just a military organization. It is for anyone that wants to either help spread the word about the sea services that the United States has, but help their local community, help vets. You don't have to have been a vet. You don't have to be from a veteran family. You don't have to be in law enforcement. It's truly just an organization, actually founded in 1902 by President Roosevelt. And,
nice, I like that history.
Yeah, and the reason being is because some of our younger people out here may not know that in 1902, there was not Facebook or Periscope or
Imagine
Twitter.
that. What
Shocker.
would they do?
Shock. Well, I'm
How
glad
would
you
they
asked that
survive?
question. What they did, Ted, was they founded. Yeah, thank you. Swing. They founded the Navy League, and the purpose behind the Navy League obviously has evolved. But back then, they wanted to have a mouthpiece or a good flow of information from the military and the government to the populace and back to the military, showing their support, keeping everyone informed of what was going on, and to also ramp up support for the sea services. And that's not just Navy, but that's Marines, Merchant Marines, Coast Guard. And now, over the last several decades, that message has increased into lobbying Congress, helping information when it comes to alignment enclosures or funding.
So you speak the language.
I'm learning.
Oh, well, let's say hi to our Periscope viewers. We have new We're going on different platforms now, which I think I told you, and Troy's our experimental friend right now. So hi to everybody on Periscope.
Hello.
I love Periscope, and we're going across platforms, so that's why we're learning. Glenda came on and she said, "Hello, you are welcome, Troy Edwards. Always connecting the best. You rock." So Glenda's made a comment about how awesome you are, and we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and putting up with the we're just changing. We're just trying to experiment here, and Bill Moore has been very patient to my right. So we'll get him online again at some point and give him credit. Because the more people we can get the message out to across the platforms, the better for everyone, including what you're doing, and pretty much what everybody's trying to accomplish in this town is try to get the word out about the amazing things that are going on.
Well,
so
I love that you utilized Periscope, Navy. Periscope.
That's right. Oh my
It's
God,
very fitting.
very good. You're good at this. All right. See, I'm obviously too mesmerized by my fake tan that's going on in this camera. I seriously can't believe that. So, all right. So 1902, we got there, and then. But how do you? So what happens when somebody like you says, "All right, I really want to get involved," because they obviously bring you in. They do want to get more awareness out there about what the mission is. But then you say, "All right, I'm all in. I'm Troy Edwards, and I'm all in." So how does that play out? does it begin to be like your life's mission? Do you get so involved that you're like, this is what I was supposed to do?
I actually, yeah. Over the last couple of years, that's where I've gotten to. This is a volunteer organization. There are no paid positions. I started just assisting with the Lone Sailor Memorial, which was the 14th in the nation, and we dedicated almost 3 years ago at Blue Jacket Park. People don't realize this used to be a Navy town. Orlando was a huge Navy town. Baldwin Park, where we have the you alluded to, our race that we have coming up 9 days now.
9 days.
Yeah. Wow. Is in Baldwin Park used to be the grounds of Recruit Training Center Orlando. And the significance of that, not only was it obviously one of the 3 major boot camps for the Navy, but it was the first co-ed boot camp in the Navy. And about 180,000 women graduated from RTC Orlando. And this year we are going to be unveiling the first of her kind in the nation woman recruit statue at our race.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So that's
in Blue Jacket Park?
Right in Blue Jacket Park,
Wow.
right next to the Lone Sailor Memorial. We built a dock, and he is, if you're looking at it, on the right front corner, and she'll be beside him on the left front corner.
See, I think a lot of people don't realize or don't remember. I grew up here, so Navy, but it was, it was Air Force before that.
Yes, it was.
My wife was adopted from Children's Home Society here, and her birth parents, one of them was in the Air Force, and she was actually born at the Air Force Hospital there,
Yep.
which then in turn became Navy. I used to work at the mall, Fashion Square Mall, and we used to
Yep.
have all of the Navy people come in, men and women, and so it was just, I think people who weren't around then just can't even imagine how many. You used to see white uniforms everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Really
and,
did.
And going back a little bit more to the history, it was actually Army Air Corps before the Air Force was created.
Right.
And it was McCoy.
Yes.
And Orlando International is
Yeah.
Army Air Force to Navy, and they fully demolished it around. It left a mark. You were here. It affected the economy.
Sure did.
If it wasn't for Universal, Disney, a lot of it helped ramping up the tourism. I think Orlando really would have suffered. But here locally, with the I started assisting Jackie Sailor, and that culminated a few years ago. I was unveiling it, and during my involvement there, I was asked if I wanted to cover the youth program. Not really, but I wanted to get involved. Now this is almost a job. And I love it because we have 19 units that we sponsor and support, 13 high school, a few Marine Corps ROTC units at high schools, and,
Wow.
several Navy, and then we have 6 Sea Cadet units.
So I have a lot of questions for you. So,
Yes.
First of all, let's talk about Lone Sailor, and then I want to get back to what you talked about with how the youth can program and which
Oh, yes.
Sea Cadets, they can bypass boot camp, which I think there'll be some people that will be interested. Lone Sailor, talk about Lone Sailor. What does that mean?
Yes. So the Lone Sailor Memorial, the official Lone Sailor Memorial in D.C. At the memorial, which is right across. If anyone's familiar with D.C., it's right across the National Archives, actually not too far from the National Officers Memorial. And there have it was to signify medal for highlighting the Lone Sailor Memorial.
Beautiful.
Can you see that? Yeah. Now, that's what the Lone Sailor is like. He is on the dock in Blue Jacket Park, looking out at the board. We amazing so many to mention on this committee that brought this to life. It took about 6-7 years to finally make it happen because Baldwin Park, a lot of people, again, don't know that it used to be a significant part of military history. There is a small plaque on one of the pylons in the park that recognizes that it used to be the base and thanks to many men and women that either worked or graduated or cycled through there. But again, that's it. And so we brought the 14th in the nation Lone Sailor Memorial to Blue Jacket Park. And now the Blue Jacket Recruit, which is, I said, the female monument, this is the first in the nation.
That's amazing, actually.
Woman Recruit statue. This I'm giving you a sneak peek. This is the medal that you will receive if you participate in our race, highlighting has the lone sailor here, and then the blue jacket recruit, here she is. And this was conceived by our organization, Captain Andy Moeller, retired Navy, and it was designed and created by Don Reynolds, who is a local artist. He has done pieces all around the world. He's a sculptor if you're familiar with UCF, I know we've got some UCF alum.
Sure.
The Charging Knight at UCF.
Oh, yes.
He's done pieces all around the world. So this was done at his factory up in Sanford. So from the layout, design, the sculpting, the bronzing, every detail, the 3D printing, everything was designed, created, and now installed the other day, all here locally.
That's amazing.
And has aspects of previous carriers that were sent to us to put in, so it truly has Navy history built into the memorial.
So you're not just doing a run, you're actually participating. This is historic,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, and thanks to a lot of not only yourself, but the news media is going to be out there. We have a very strong contingent of our political community going to be there. Congresswoman Murphy, Buddy Dyer, city and county commissioners.
That's awesome.
And patriotic men and women that have served.
I always get emotional at any ceremony, anything that has to do. I have been blessed to sponsor a few military balls up here, and even at that, just the sheer, there's so much emotion and pride there that you can't help but feel motivated and patriotic when you go to something like that. And then people like me, I've never served, so I can't imagine the sacrifice. And then you go there, and then I'm a blithering idiot by the end of it. I mean, seriously.
You know what? I've seen so many of these, and it's just something when we have Winter Park High School again going to bring out present the colors, and then
awesome.
we have an amazing young woman, Daniela, who's going to be singing the national anthem. Tell me about those colors. It's something about different notes in that national anthem, and then when we do taps. I always, and then being law enforcement.
I'm gonna cry right now.
Yeah, law enforcement. You to your side here. The bagpipes is what gets. I love it, hate it at the same time, because it always means that we've lost a brother or sister in blue.
Yeah.
But so we start right out the gate at 7:30 on the 14th with a tremendous presentation of colors, that national anthem, taps, and then we have a beautiful race, our 9th annual race. Then we have 10 or 15 minutes of transition to the memorial, and then we will literally be unshrouding the Blue Jacket recruits in front of everyone.
See, that we joke on the show about how I don't do a whole bunch of research and development. I really try to just take what you say, but I honestly would have shared that. I didn't know that you were unveiling that.
Yeah, right now it looks like a big Heineken bottle right now. To be honest, it's green, puffy bubble wrap. So you can't. It looks. It really does look like a Heineken bottle.
That's going to be awesome, though. How many runners do you, participants, I guess?
Yeah, so...
Because you can run, walk, or roll, which I love that in the flyer.
So it's a 5K or 10K. You can run, walk, stroll, crawl, hip, skip, jump, whatever, carry, however you want to do it. But if you cannot be there, or you fall ill, or you have a family member or friend around the nation that wishes they could be there, we have a virtual race as well. And you can sign up at cfnl5k.org.
Say it again, slower.
cfnl5k.org.
And we'll share that after we post the video.
And you can go there and register for either the day of race or the virtual race, either the 5K or the 10K. Whatever race you do, you're going to get a high-quality Under Armour style shirt with a brand new design this year. You're going to get this one time. We're only running this one time. So the 1,000 that we have, if you're not at this race,
all you race people,
eBay.
You need
you're gonna
to.
maybe somebody will get rid of it on eBay. But we also offer discounts for for military, active duty veterans, law enforcement, groups of 10 or more. So you're going to get, and the beautiful thing about this race is over the last few years, we've increased the quality of the shirt. We've increased the medal. We've increased the benefits, increased in state-of-the-art timing system, and the overall experience, and we have not increased the price once.
Wow.
So
that's awesome
you're going
too.
to get an extremely great value, and the best part, all of the proceeds go to our veterans. It goes to the people that have truly sacrificed, that have truly taken that oath and have gone from their families for months, if not years at a time. And this year we've partnered up and can I hold the flyer?
Oh, please.
So here's the flyer.
It comes up backwards. We're going to figure
Yes.
that out. Bill swears that there's a way to make sure that.
How about this?
No.
No,
No.
other way.
So
Good.
we partnered up again with
We'll post the flyer too, I promise.
The Camaraderie Foundation here. Right here. The Camaraderie Foundation is founded by a veterans, a local organization, and they help with not only the visible signs of war, but they help with the invisible signs of war. So whether that be depression, PTSD, problems in the marriage, as well as with the children, and they give counseling. I've heard great stories of helping to write a resume. How do I prepare for a job interview?
Sure.
How do I transition from I was a specialist in, say, EOD or a diver or a corpsman in the military, but now I'm not in the military anymore.
Well, yeah, we talked about the transition as one of the biggest challenges.
Yes.
Is when you go from military life, which has this structure and this discipline and responsibility and accountability, and you come out into the civilian life, it's completely different.
Yes.
And so it's a very difficult transition for most military people to make.
Yes, and Camaraderie, I believe this is our third year. Is that about right?
That's
third
awesome.
years that we've partnered with them, and we will split the proceeds with Camaraderie, and then the other proceeds will go to the Central Florida Navy League that I was telling you about, and that helps with us being able to do events like this and spread the word and be able to give scholarships to high school seniors.
Oh, talk about that,
Yes.
because let's talk about the scholarships and the program, because you work with the youth, and
Great,
talk
yes.
about what you said earlier about going through this after the 4 years, how that works with boot camp and enlisting.
Yeah, so everyone out there knows about JROTCs
Yes.
in high schools. And then when you get to college, you have ROTC. And many people don't know that the Sea Cadets is out there. The Sea Cadets has actually been around since the 1800s.
I had not heard about it till you put it in your bio.
Yes, 1800s in England is when the Sea Cadet Corps started. And over the last 50, 60 years in the United States, it has really taken to where we have hundreds of units around the country. And the best way, and I think I gave you this analogy, is if you take a bowl, put Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, ROTC, JROTC in a bowl, inject it with some steroids, that final result is going to be what you get as a Sea Cadet.
Love it.
Because it's not a extracurricular, it's not an elective credit in high school. It's not a willy-nilly, I'm just here to kill some time.
Right.
This is our young men and women ages 10 to 18 are there. They basically sign a contract. It's not an actual contract as if you're going into the military, but it's their promise that they're going to dedicate themselves. They want to be there. They're not being forced to be there.
Right.
And they're going to put their effort in, and we have drill once a month, drill weekend, and they learn whether it be the oaths, anchors aweigh, different anthems. They learn everything that you would learn over the 4 years, high school years, that you would learn going into Navy boot camp. And those cadets that are so driven, that are there and have put that time in, can actually go into the military right away as an E3 or E4, which is higher paid grade than when they were starting right out the very first day of boot camp. And then they can go straight to their specialized schools, because not only do they have the drill year, which is the school year, but during the winter break, they can go to winter survival schools, they can go to officer leadership schools, and in the summer, they can go, whether it be to Kings Bay and go on a nuclear submarine. They can go to Jax,
man, that's
Mayport,
cool.
and go out on ships. We teach survival, 7
And
days
as young as
survival
10?
schools. 10 to 18. So
Okay.
the 10 to 13 are considered league cadets. They're the younger cadets, and then once they hit 14 to 18, they can become official Sea Cadets.
Wow.
They have all the rankings and merits and procedures that they do in the Navy. So they have testing, they have coursework, they have to put in time and grade to be able to try to get that promotion exactly like you would in the Navy or
That's
Marines.
so cool.
Yeah.
I had never heard about that. You hear about ROTC, junior ROTC, right?
Mhm. Yes, the high school's junior, and then college is ROTC.
And so you hear about that, and I remember in high school and college seeing them out there, but I had never heard about Sea Cadets before.
Yes, and we have a couple. One I'm mentoring right now that he's already gotten accepted into West Point. He's
Wow.
waiting to get
That's awesome.
into possibly Annapolis. He's gotten a full ride to 2 other colleges
Wow.
because, again, it is not an elective.
Right.
They want to be there. They're not
Right.
there just to go through the motions for that 50 minutes that they're in the class in high school.
Right.
This is an entire weekend drill weekend. They march. They have to know their uniforms. They have to know what a gig line is and how to do their collars and how far down their hats are. They have to have their hair cut, fingernails. They learn how to polish their shoes. They learn the entire chain of command. And then that's just the basics. Then you learn the history of the Navy, how things work, what the Navy does, what the different sea services
Yeah, that's
do.
awesome.
And then they take that and then they use it practically by going again to say Kings Bay, to these different trainings.
That must be so awesome for you to see them go
It is
through
very
and then
cool.
get to the point where you've got somebody who's been accepted to West Point and they're actually, that's their life, that the trajectory of their life has changed.
Yes.
Or has gone in a wonderfully positive direction because of Sea Cadets, because of what they've been involved in.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. One comes to mind. I'm going to call him out. His name is Pierce. And
Hey, Pierce.
Pierce, if you're watching, buddy, I always talk highly about you, so this should not be any surprise. When I took over this program, it's been about 5 years, the youth program director. I would just present once a year the Teddy Roosevelt Cadet of the Year Award, which we give to the cadet,
I love
highest
it. It's
cadet.
called the Teddy Roosevelt Award.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
a beautiful, and they get a ribbon, they get this beautiful medal, and it's for the elite cadet. Let's try that again. The elite cadet.
Yeah, you say that 3 times fast.
Yeah, I couldn't say it once slow. We'll get that medal from each unit, whether it's a Sea Cadet unit or a ROTC unit. So I would get to know the instructors and the commanding officers and XOs from these units via telephone or email, and then maybe once a year I'd get to interact with them, and then I'd see them at the awards night. And I thought, man, what really are they doing the years leading up to this?
Right.
I'm kind of at the end of the process. I want to see from inception. So I started getting more involved and coming to a lot more trainings, and I got to meet Pierce at a local Sea Cadet unit. Pierce actually won our Roosevelt Award.
Wow.
And,
Congratulations.
yes, Pierce several years ago. I got to mentor him some, and then he also applied 2 years ago, and he was the recipient of one of our scholarships that we give every year.
Wow.
And now he's at UCF. He's going to be a first lieutenant in the Army. And now he's a midshipman with the Sea Cadet unit. He's one of our senior instructors with our unit in Claremont. So he is a perfect example of a young man with a supportive family that has gone out of it. And this kid, he volunteers with his church. And the summers he goes to retreats and councils. He has a job. He is at UCF. He is an ROTC. And then, oh, by the way, he also mentors 1 weekend a month at drill. So these are the future leaders that we get to, I don't want to say but all of us that are involved get to mold these men and women into. And I got to say, and like you say, get into tears when I make my elevator speech and get to present these medals. I tear up.
I would cry my
Because
eyes out.
to see them, as they go in as a freshman, and then their junior year they win the award, and then their senior year they get a scholarship, and now they're in ours. Now they're going to be I can't believe
We've
first
also
of all,
gotten to see them progress, that progression
Yes.
that you've gotten to watch.
Yes.
Just beautiful. All right, so we're getting almost out of time.
Yes, no worries.
So we're going to share all of Troy's contact information, obviously. Glenda's been really good. I've kind of watched across here about
been
posting
sharing
some
some
of the
links, yes.
URLs, but we'll also do the links when we share the video. And so that you can participate, you can get involved, and if for some reason, which I don't know why you wouldn't for that medal, want to get involved in the race or walk or stroll on the 14th,
Yes.
or you could do it virtually. See, this seems like something I could totally do virtually.
Yeah, and then you just submit your times.
And then you just I'm afraid of my times. I'm not sure how that would work, but you could get involved. And I think we should all get involved, but we'll share all that information. Definitely reach out to Troy, reach out to me if you want more information, and we'll be happy to provide it. Any parting words of wisdom for them? I don't think I prepped you for that earlier.
That's okay. If if you can join us on April 14th, it's going to be our 9th annual Wounded Warfighter Lone Sailor 5K, 10K. After this amazing race, we're going to have the unveiling of the Blue Jacket Recruit. But we're also, this is a family event. It's family friendly. You can bring your children, you can bring your pets, you can bring your service peacock if you want, or your service trout.
That I want to see.
Whatever you need to bring, you can bring. We just ask that you bring a plastic bag to collect whatever they leave behind. We're going to have military personnel. We're going to have military vehicles, Strikers, Humvees out there. And it's professionally timed, so you can do the 5K or 10K, running around Lake Baldwin on the former grounds of RTC. It's just, knock on wood, every year, you've been out there, every year we have been so fortunate that God has smiled down on us and given us great weather, great
It's going to be beautiful. We just looked it up.
We're expecting about 1,100, 1,200 people.
Wow.
All the major news media has said that they're going to be out there.
Awesome.
And again, the proceeds go to our veterans and those that have sacrificed and taken up that torch to protect us, whether it's here, home, or abroad. Discounts available for active duty veterans, law enforcement, groups of 10 or more. You still have time to sign up. The registration ends next Thursday, the 12th, I'm sorry.
Yep, the
12th at midnight. The virtual race, I'm extending a week. So the thought behind that is you come out and you're with us on the 14th, and then you have such a great time that you're sharing that experience with friends and family members around the U.S.
That's awesome.
that couldn't be here. Well, guess what? I wish I got that this year we're upgrading the shirts and to a higher quality. Under Armour has great elasticity to it. Doesn't feel like you're wearing a plastic bag. Some people have said it's because some of those shirts sometimes make you feel like that. So it's very breathable, great shirt, limited edition metal. And so whether, again, if
I
you're...
love the promotion. It's good. It's really good.
And if you act now.
Yeah, right.
Operators are standing by.
There's more.
Yeah. But wait, I feel like Billy from
God
ShamWow.
bless him.
The ShamWow guy, yes. So,
All right, you've been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
You so much. Thanks for being patient while we try this out. Thanks, Lori, in the background.
Yes.
Bill, for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Please follow me on Periscope, and then our YouTube channel is going to be launched. We have it ready. So we're going to be streaming across a lot of platforms, and as we get everybody's messages out there, which I think are so important, like Troy's, we're going to have more and more people that we can get in front of the wonderful things that are going on in and around our city. So thank you so much. And again, we'll share everything.
And if you want to become a member of the Central Florida Navy League, if you want to come to one of our luncheons, we have our annual Navy Ball, we have a golf tournament, and then our race. Again, you can go to
Just promotion.
cfnavyleague.org. That's our local website. Or again, for the race, cfnl5k.org. You can learn all about the race. You can learn about our sponsors. You can learn how you can help the veterans and our youth in the community. And please, anytime, any questions, I ask that you
We'll
contact
tag Troy, and we'll make sure that we share it. So thank you. Thank all of you
Thank you.
guys. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.